the Harvard Graduate School of Education, working at the nexus of practice, policy, and research.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the Harvard Black Alumni Society's panel titled Working to Address the High School Dropout Crisis, the Civil Rights Issue of Our Generation. My name is Enoch Woodhouse, and I am the co-president, along with Azar Richmond, of the Harvard Black Alumni Society of New York. We are very, very pleased with this turnout. Over 400 people are here tonight of all ages, races, backgrounds, which is so important to this discussion because it is a discussion that knows no boundaries.
As you may know, only about 7 in 10 children graduate from high school nationally, and that in many of America's largest cities, the statistics are far more sobering. In some of America's biggest cities, only about half of students graduate on time, and in cities like Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Atlanta, the statistics are even more sobering. And as you all know, there's a huge achievement gap, so that when we talk about these statistics, they tend to be much worse for students of color than for white students.
The numbers are staggering. When nearly 4 in 10 young people of color don't graduate from high school, when you're 3 times more likely to be unemployed if you haven't graduated high school, when you're 8 times more likely to be jailed if you haven't graduated high school, it is a civil rights issue for our nation.
Most kids are not dropping out because they simply they're lazy and are tired of being in school. If you read The Silent Epidemic by the Gates Foundation, you will find that over 40% of those kids were actually doing okay in school. You will also find that most immigrant kids who drop out of school drop out to work. They drop out to get jobs. You would also find that this is really not a high school problem. The biggest obstacle to addressing the dropout rate are the false assumptions about why we have one. And when you have kids coming to the 9th grade who are reading at the 3rd grade level, you have an elementary school problem, you've got a middle school problem. So if you only focus on high schools, you're not going to begin to solve it.
In 9th grade, when I was a freshman, I never knew about the SAT, and I think that was sad. And I think since I'm a student and I live it every day, it really hurts that we can't have the books and we can't have the right teachers. And I feel that if I was a freshman and if I came to the school and I had the right teachers and I had the books and I had just people that really cared and told me everything that I need to get to 12th grade. I'm in 12th grade now, I'm succeeding. And it's not because of my school. It's because of my parents. It's because of my family.
You're from students all over the country that say they were on the verge of dropping out and no one bothered to care. No one bothered to reach out. They didn't have an adult to turn to. They say they didn't think school was important or relevant, that there was nothing in it for them. They don't see the value of that high school diploma in order to succeed in life after high school.
Someday in America, people will understand, as important as community is, we are in this together. And if you don't succeed, and kids in your school don't succeed, our city and our nation will pay a price for that. We have got to get serious about innovating, thinking about how we avoid teacher isolation, professionalize the teaching profession, use technology. I was at a school today, we call it the Game School. It's called, more formally, Quest to Learn. What they are doing in terms of engaging students in a different way of thinking about education. But we got in this model, 1 kid, 1 teacher, 25 kids, and then we argue whether it ought to be 23 or 26. That's the wrong way to think about the problem.
We can create cultures that would prevent at elementary school, at middle school, the dropout that occurs at high school. And that can be done, and yet we don't understand that the poor kids who don't receive good support for development fail because they don't receive good support for development. Somehow they fail for all these other reasons that we give, but it's support for development that makes a difference. And wherever you provide it, the kids will do well.
Poor kids and kids of color, if we're talking about the achievement gap specifically, get less of everything that research says makes a difference in public education. Even if we can just tackle the bottom 1%, not just of high schools, but of elementary and middle schools, and turn them around. Sometimes that's about replacing the adults. It's certainly about changing the curriculum. There are 2,000 schools, high schools in this country that produce over 50% of the dropouts, the schools that produce over 50% of the dropouts. Those same 2,000 schools produce over 75% of the dropouts if you are Latino or African American. We absolutely want to hone in on those schools and transform the way they work.
The conditions that enable that to happen are organic at the school. People always say to me, well, you should do this, lower class size, extend the day, extend the year, bring in more arts programs, bring in more physical education, do more busing so the kids can get to school earlier and on time and so forth. So these are all competing demands for limited resources. I think it's much more likely that a school community looking at its challenges, willing to innovate and differentiate, much more likely that they will get it right than some edict from Central is going to come down and figure out for 1,500 schools how to organize the place.
There's a role, what we've discovered, for national service, working in conjunction with school superintendents and with teachers and administrators. And what we've done with City Year is we fully dedicated it to the national crisis in education.
Why is it that there are schools like Frederick Douglass High School in Harlem or Thurgood Marshall in Harlem that can graduate 90% of their kids? What's different about those schools? And why don't we do more of what they do? Sounds pretty simple, huh? Except that we don't.